Hello, my fellow nerds and masochists, because you are an Unreal Engine tutorial, so you're trying to learn a incredibly deep engine. In this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about how to get Daz clothing over to Unreal Engine and plug it into the Mutables. Now, Mutables is something new that Unreal Engine has developed. It's still in beta, but it is amazing. So, I watched a tutorial by a guy called Smart Poly, which I will leave in the description below so you can watch his full tutorial, because I'm not going to go into all the blueprint stuff. It's not my thing. I'm not good at the blueprints. I'm not good at the coding, but thankfully other people are, and they share their knowledge that I am just too ignorant to understand. So that being said, let me show you how to get the Daz. What I'm using right now is a top. So, and this is for my hopefully soon 3D game, because I am really diving into Unreal Engine. Over to Unreal Engine, and we can put it into the Mutable. So as you can tell, my system is very laggy. So there's a very specific way you have to do this. I've tried like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different ways, and it all ended up very poorly and did not work. So let's go ahead, I'll show you the right way. You have the item selected. Now this is a Genesis 9 character. It's only going to work for Genesis 9 stuff, right? Most stuff through Daz is now Genesis 9 and 8. Just make sure it's a Genesis 9. It can be any model. It don't really, I think it does matter actually. So whatever model, you need to import it over to Unreal as well, just separately. So we have our top selected here. Maybe. There it is. So first of all, we go to File, Send to, Dash to Unreal, and then we need to have this Convert to Epic Skeleton selected. That is the only stipulation that needs to be done. Keep this as skeletal mesh. You cannot do this with static mesh. I already tried. It failed miserably. It was catastrophic. So go ahead and do just have this, and that's all you need. Let's go ahead and hit accept. Boop. Give it a moment, and then the next window will pop up. We're going to keep it all defaults. All this I just kept exactly as you see right here on the screen. Yep. Pretty much all the basics, how Daz to Unreal came. So let's go ahead and hit accept. Another thing you need to know is that the plugin you need will not work for the Daz to Unreal that Daz has. You have to go through David's GitHub to get the latest version of Daz to Unreal, because it is up to date for the 5.5 series. So let's go ahead and hit OK on that. And if you do need help installing that, I do have a video that I did a couple years back, and it's the same process, so nothing has changed since then. You can go back and check. I think it's in the playlist of Unreal Engine that I have over on YouTube. So let's go ahead, and that has now been imported. So let's go to Unreal. Oh, I gotta minimize. That's right. Here's the next thing you gotta do. Here's a merge type. I do merge all, and then commit. And I'm going to do this all over again because I just realized I did not name this. I'll have to rename everything. That sucks. All right, so go ahead and clear that. Hit the X. All right, so the next thing that we're going to have to do is to bring up our Muta. Oops, where is my Muta? Okay, so here's my model. Here's my Elsa Muta. Taking a second to populate. As you can tell, she is running around with just her draws on right now. That's all she's got. All right, make sure I don't get hit with the YouTube stuff. So the basic idea, oh shit, I didn't realize that this saved. I went through a test run to get it all right. So what I'm gonna do is I will just delete this, because we're gonna run through this. So first of all, like I said, you gotta follow the tutorial, but this is basically how your gear is going to work, or your clothing, I mean. It's gonna be gear for me. So we need a skeletal mesh, so let's go ahead. And you cannot do a copy paste, by the way. If you copy paste all of this and just, it's going to keep all these settings, and these settings are different, right? So let's select skeletal mesh, and it says right here, what skeletal mesh do you want? Well, we want the top right here. the witch top. And when it comes up, it's going to be 3 different ones. We have default matte, we have top sleeves, and then we have top add-on. Now, I don't see any, like I tested it, I don't see any difference, so I'm not going to use that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these pins down here, right? So this is what you got to make sure you have selected. So here is the top default mesh, which is right here. Make sure that's ticked. The next one we have is this sleeves, which is right here. So that's ticked. We don't need any of the textures. It's only the mesh. I don't need this default because I don't even see a difference. So I'm not even going to have it. So I'm going to untick that, and this gets smaller. When I did this set, it only had the one. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'll do the top. And then the top's like, oh, there's several. So I had to take a few seconds and figure this out. So let's go ahead and do a mesh selection. Sorry, section, not selection. Bam. And I am going to do a Control C and Control V on that because I have not put anything into that. We're going to have 2 of these. One for the default and one for the sleeves. So we just go plug and plug. If you try to plug them both into the same ones, that one works. Interesting. But that doesn't. Anyways, this is how I solved the problem. I'm not sure why the sleeves work in both of them. That's kind of interesting. You'll have a problem probably because I did with the underwear that I did when it came to the mesh section. So the mesh section, you have to see if I can't find it. Oh, got to scroll up. This might be empty. There might not be anything here. Fortunately, this one does. If this is empty, all you do is go to the item, which will be in your Daz3D Unreal folder, and then here is the witch top. You go into materials, and you just throw this not into that, but into the node property. Let me minimize this. You'll just bloop, and throw it in there in the bottom one. So that's how you solve that problem. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we're going to do an add to mesh component. Same as up here. We do need to change the name of this. It will not work because of earlier in that tutorial that I followed. It is named body. It has to be body because of it's going through this. So body, and then we can plug both of these in to the LOD0. Cool. And then we need a child object. I don't need no children, but apparently the coding does. And you just plug it into the component. We can rename this, and I'm going to rename this as chess because it's going to be the chess piece. Bam. Cool. Then all we do is we put this object to this object. Now the fun part. Compile and hope there's no errors. Now, a warning's okay. Not sure. With only one warning, could not generate a mesh section because it did not have a material selected. It does. It's just the same one, I think, is the reason why that happens. And now if you notice, there is a new thing over here. It's called chess. So let's go ahead and tick that, and boom, we have our chess piece. Now, it is poking through. I have to look into that. I know there's a couple of videos about it, so I will probably check back in, make another video if it has anything different. I tend not to try to do videos that someone else has already done, but I will do a video if it adds on to something that someone has already done, right? Kind of like this, because in the tutorial it does not have multiple different meshes going into the same thing. But this is how I have conquered bringing Daz clothing over into Unreal Engine, into the Mutables. I can't wait to dive more into this. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful. If you did, go ahead and hit that like, hit that follow, get notified for when I drop more videos, because I'm probably going to be dropping quite a few more now that I'm back in Unreal Engine 1, so that I can help you guys out, and 2, so it helps me freaking remember, because I have to go back to my videos constantly so that I can refresh. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.